South Africa has been accused by the American government of things such as genocide, but also racial discrimination, making it impossible for companies to do business within South Africa, and just a whole slew of other issues that the American government has with South Africa. And now we have a very important update from the Freedom Front Plus, who has spent some time within America actually meeting with White House officials, and they came back with four demands that the United States government has, and these are preconditions. So before the American government will even consider fixing or normalizing bilateral relations with South Africa, these four conditions has to be met. And the four conditions are as follows. The classification of farm attacks as a priority crime. The White House officials pointed out that currently farm attacks are not addressed with the same urgency and resources as rhino poaching and cash-in-transit heists. East farm attacks should be investigated by the Hawks. Now, I actually agree with this. I think one of the biggest problems we have in South Africa is that not only do we have a government that doesn't put a lot of onus on farm attacks, we have a government that denies that they're even happening, denies that there is a group of people going around murdering farmers in some of the most horrific ways possible. More importantly, if a white person murders a black person in South Africa, it is charged as a hate crime. When in reality, when a black person murders a white person, tortures and maims them, that's just charged as a crime. So we don't even get special sort of prosecution rules when it comes to these crimes. It's just sort of ignored as if it's just another statistic. And of course, the media is 100% complicit in all of this. The second one, the clear and unequivocal public condemnation by the ANC of kill the Boer, kill the farmer, whether used in song or any other context. This is important, you see, because up until now, the ANC has consistently hidden behind this, well, we're not the ones singing the song. We don't endorse this, right? But he's free to sing it. From their perspective, and the American perspective here matters, they have a country, right, that has leadership singing songs about slaughtering a minority group within the country, and you have a government, in other words, a political party in power, that has not condemned that being sung. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily that you make it illegal. That's not what they're asking for here. They just want the ANC to actually condemn the singing of this song and to stand against it as part of, what you would expect in a civil society. 3, no land expropriation without fair market compensation. This one is super important, and I think a lot of people just sort of gloss over it, and a lot of people don't pay attention. If you actually read what the Constitution says the government is allowed to do with expropriation without compensation, it makes it clear that it's property. Now, property is more than just a farm. Property can be a farm, it can be a house, it can be a car, it can be a computer, it can be a business. Can be a corporation. Property is almost everything. The current constitutional amendment that's been made by the government of South Africa, the Expropriation Without Compensation Act, makes it so that private property in South Africa is effectively null and void. And before anyone tells me, but hold on, Aklon, you're lying because it's only when it's done for equitable reasons and in the public good, I tell you, that's nonsense. Because fundamentally, you're asking me to trust that no one will ever abuse this, that this will never be abused. So I ask you, if Julius Malema got into power tomorrow with the power that this bill gives him, do you imagine that farms would not immediately be expropriated without compensation? Because reasons for equitable, right, can be literally anything, because equity doesn't actually mean anything. It literally means whatever you want it to mean, especially in this instance, right? And then the last one, and I think this is where we're actually starting to get to the proper meat and potatoes, because it links to number 3, exemption of USA entities from all Black economic empowerment requirements. This means that any business like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, as well as all of the other conglomerates from the US, they can open businesses here, and at no point can the South African government force them to sell 30% of their business interests. Their business interests will remain wholly and fully American. This means that companies like Walmart that had to sell out to Massmart and do a bunch of shit in order to operate here in South Africa, they'll be able to open their businesses and actually operate within South Africa without the government's interference. And the reason I say this links with the third point, that no land expropriation, right, without compensation. The American government is rightfully concerned that businesses opening in South Africa can literally just be taken by the government. If the government feels like this business will serve the public better if it was nationalized, the law gives them the right to take that business and nationalize it in the public good and for the equitable outcome of all. And there would be nothing that they can do. So clearly, from the American perspective, these things matter. Now, I don't think the ANC is going to do anything. In fact, the ANC has made it clear they don't want to play ball with the Americans. They just want the American money, right? And so we're going to see how that plays out for the ANC. I think after this, if this fails to happen, if again the ANC just sort of continues on this road, we are going to see President Trump and America increase the number. Right now, there's a trickle of refugees leaving South Africa. I imagine that it will become a waterfall and then eventually a tsunami, as they're going to open their borders to basically refugees wanting to come in from South Africa. And they're really going to amp this thing up, because all of this is designed fundamentally to destroy the South African economy as well as the South African government, because the ANC will not play ball. It's also important to note that these are preconditions. I believe that if South Africa finally adheres to all of these, then the calls for South Africa withdrawing from their attacks on Israel and also breaking support with Iran will also become a very important measure. Again, I don't think the ANC is going to do it, but let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about all of this. I'm sorry that I was late with this. I was busy in a podcast literally until just now. So this is the fastest that I could bring it to you. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, hit the like if you liked it, if you didn't, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.